Gordon Cameron Jackson, OB. He was a Scottish Emmy Award-winning actor best remembered for his roles as the butler Angus Hudson in Upstairs, Downstairs and as George Cowley, the head of CI5, in The Professionals. Early life: Gordon Jackson was born in Glasgow in 1923, the youngest of 5 children. He attended Hillhead High School, and in his youth he took part in BBC radio shows including Children's Hour. He left school aged 15 and became a draftsman for Rolls-Royce. Acting career: his film career began in 1942, when producers from Ealing Studios were looking for a young Scot to act in The Foreman went to France and he was suggested for the part. After this, he returned to his job at Rolls-Royce, but he was soon asked to do more films, and he made the decision to make acting his career. Jackson soon appeared in other films, including Millions Like Us, San Demetrio London, The Captive Heart, Eureka Stockade and Whiskey Galore. In the early years of his career, Jackson also worked in repertory theatre in Glasgow, Worthing and Perth. In 1949, he starred in the film Flood Tide, along with actress Rona Anderson. He and Anderson married 2 years later on June 2, 1951. They had 2 sons, Graham and Roddy. The same year, he made his London stage debut, appearing in Seagulls over Sorrento. In the 1950s and 1960s he appeared on television in programmes such as The Adventures of Robin Hood, ABC of Britain, Gideon's Way and The Avengers. In 1955 he had a small part in The Quatermass Experiment, a film version of the BBC TV serial. He later had supporting roles in the films The Great Escape, The Bridle Path and The Ipcress File. In 1969, he and his wife had important roles in the prime of Miss Jean Brodie. That year, he played Horatio in Tony Richardson's production of Hamlet and he won a Clarence Derwent Award for Best Supporting Actor, having also taken part in the film version. Gordon Jackson became a household name playing the stern Scottish butler Hudson in 60 episodes of the period drama Upstairs, Downstairs from 1971 to 1975. In 1976, he won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Single Performance by a Supporting Actor for the episode The Beastly Hun. In 1974, he was named British Actor of the Year and in 1979 he was made an OBE. Jackson was cast opposite Bette Davis for the American television film Madame Sin, which was released in overseas markets as a feature film. His next big television role was in The Professionals from 1977. He played George Cowley in all 57 episodes until the program's end in 1983, although filming had finished in 1981. Martin Shaw did not want it repeated and so there was no repeats on TV until after Jackson died. Shaw heard his wife was struggling financially and so he finally gave his permission to show repeats to enable Jackson's wife to receive the repeat fees. He played Noel Strachan in the Australian World War II drama A Town Like Alice, winning a Logie Award for his performance. After A Town Like Alice and The Professionals, Gordon Jackson continued his television work with appearances in Heart to Heart, Campion and Shaka Zulu, and the films The Shooting Party and The Whistleblower. He also appeared in the theatre, appearing in Cards on the Table, adapted from the novel by Agatha Christie at the Vaudeville Theatre in 1981, and in Mass Appeal by Bill C. Davis at the Lyric Hammersmith in 1982. From 1985 to 1986, Jackson narrated 2 afternoon cookery shows in New Zealand for TVNZ called Fresh and Fancy Fare and its successor Country Fare. His last role before his death was in Effie's Burning, and this was broadcast posthumously. Death: in 1989, he was diagnosed with bone cancer and died the following year, aged 66, in London. He was cremated at Golders Green Crematorium. Partial filmography. References. External links. Gordon Jackson at the Internet Movie Database, Gordon Jackson at the Museum of Broadcast Communications, Gordon Jackson at the Internet Broadway Database.